What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Collider Media Studio at the Cinema Center at South by Southwest 2025. So psyched to talk Summer of '69.
Woo!
I'm so happy for you. I'm going to say this multiple times during this interview. Making your feature directorial debut is a big deal, and it should be celebrated.
That is so lovely for you to say. Thank you. I'm very, very, very excited. I'm very proud of this cast. I just saw them for the first time 20 minutes ago. Yeah. So if I'm still beaming or look oily, it's because of that.
And you're right. Jillian as a director is a gift to the world. Like, get ready, guys.
It's shocking to think that it was her first one, too.
Truly.
It's just like, right. It felt right.
I love it. I could see all that in the finished product. Clearly, I know what your movie is about, but because we're talking about it at a film festival, our audience might first learn about it during this interview. So would you mind doing the honors and giving a brief synopsis?
Yes, it's basically about a sexually inexperienced teenager, played by Sam, who finds out that her forever crush, Matt, is single for the first time, and she overhears what his favorite sexual position is, and so she hires a stripper, Chloe, to teach her how to go from 0 to 69 in a week's time.
Job very well done. So again, first feature, two-part question about that. When did you decide that you wanted to direct a movie, and when did you realize that this was the story that needed to be your first feature in that role?
I've wanted to direct a movie since I was very young, probably since I was a teenager. And I was always so intimidated by it. You know, I felt you had to do all the film school and know every single thing. And then as an actor, you know, you're like, I've been on over 40 sets. I know a lot about filmmaking. I know a lot about storytelling. It's a little
40 sets.
and you know,
Mamma mia.
But it is intimidating to do the first one because, you know, people have a tendency to look at a lot of, especially female filmmakers, and say, if you do it wrong, you're in director's jail. So I was terrified about that. And then a script came to me about 69ing, and I had to tell it. No, I was sort of just like, I loved the message of the movie. I love that it was about female friendship. I just felt like it was a really exciting story to tell, and it was sort of in my wheelhouse, and that is comedic, but also has a really strong amount of heart. And so this became the one.
I'm going to give you a big two-part follow-up question to some of what you said. I have to mush this together because the thoughts came to me at once.
Yes.
So you've been on many, many sets. Can you tell me something a past director did that inspired you, you back-pocketed, and brought to your work here? But then I also want the opposite, because you said you were very nervous.
We heard about that.
Very nervous to do all of this. So even with all your experience, what is something about what it takes to direct a movie that still surprised you?
Oh my goodness. I will say that one of my first films was 22 Jump Street, and
we can cheer for that.
Woo! And Phil Lord and Chris Miller directed that film, and I learned so much from them. The scene with Jonah Hill in the end, where we end up fighting each other and then almost kissing, that was almost entirely improvised, and we came up with that idea that day, and it just reminded me, like, stay open to what can happen naturally on the day. You can prepare, and then you have to just be ready for what can come and change the film forever and make it hopefully better. And when you're working with actors like this, it always does. So that was a good piece of advice that I just always was like, oh, I have to remember that, to stay open and keep it a safe playground for them. And then the second question was, what was terrible?
Oh, no.
What was terrible that happened?
You've had so much experience. I'm sure viewing, directing from that vantage point teaches you a lot. But what was it like being in those shoes for the first time? Is there anything about being a director that surprised you?
Yes. I will say this, and I have not talked to you guys about this, but it is terrifying when you know how much time you don't have to get a scene, and you have to just lie to their wonderful faces and say, we gotta go again, and we don't have that much time, but you want them to feel relaxed and feel like you can keep trying at it. And thank goodness on the ones that we couldn't get a lot of takes, they are effortless and wonderful, because we got everything that we needed, and the end result is in the.
We did
in the film.
have, didn't we have one where it was like, I looked in the corner of my eye and I saw.
yeah. There was 2 takes.
2 takes.
So this is a
And there was
real
a
story.
hand countdown.
Yes. 2 takes of one scene, and it was a pretty crucial scene. It's when you're asking for the club.
Ask for the club back.
And,
Yeah.
and I went like this. It was basically, you guys did it twice. We said cut. I looked over. They said we can't do any more. And you guys came out, and I went from going like, did we get it? To going, you guys nailed it in 2 takes. And then I went to the back room and I punched the wall because I was so scared that you guys, nobody witnessed
I didn't think
it.
you were going to say cry. But no, punch,
No,
punch
I was
feels
like,
more
I
cry.
want as much time for the actors as I can get. But the editor was working with us and showed us back, and Chloe was perfect in it. And I was like, we don't need it.
Chloe dab.
Is this how you do it?
Yeah.
Yes.
A question for the 3 of you. Does Jillian have a monitor dance? Like we just heard about punching a wall, but is there something she does behind the monitor that signals to you, you have just crushed it?
It's punching the wall. It's yeah.
It was a lot of like,
just
it's
has a whole
like
bunch
a
of
lot
holes
of
in it.
little like giggles.
Yeah.
There's like a little, and then like looking behind.
We actually, Brianna, who's her sister, who's also a producer on this, she sends us these photos of Jillian at the monitor, just looking like
Like the proudest little
my
mom
favorite
ever.
little
I was a
thing.
mama bear. I was very proud every take.
Yeah.
I'm going to make this real awkward for you because I love forcing collaborators to give their directors, in this case, flowers. For each of you, what is something about her as an actor's director that you really appreciated and you're excited for even more actors to experience when she directs more movies?
I mean, I'm sorry. My turn. No, I'm kidding. I knew of Jillian from The Groundlings and knew I was a huge fan of Idiotsitter and literally like, you should watch Idiotsitter, by the way. Everything Jillian's ever done is so effortlessly funny and hilarious, and also being the kindest person alive. So as an actor's director, there was so much improv, and like I felt like we were like, it's like you're in the scene and then we were kind of like spitballing and also feeling safe to just try like really stupid shit. I'd say was a big thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want other actors to work with Jillian. Just me, just us. We're gonna do this. We're just gonna refilm it over and over again, just for
Summer
fun.
of 70. We
Summer of
No, not a
70.
new movie. We're going to do the same
The
movie.
same movie over and over again. No, it's just, this is my very first feature. I've never really been on a single cam anything either. So to have this be my foray into the world of film and have just this amazing, kind, open-hearted person who like allows me to make mistakes, or like I didn't feel like it was detrimental. Oh, well, I did because it's my first feature. I was like, I can't mess up. But that was my own personal like pressure. That's my voice. It was no one else's voice on that set, especially Jillian's. She was only there to lift us all up. And so she also laid like an amazing foundation for everyone because she's the base. Like she's the scaffolding. She's the rock for everyone, and you never felt like you couldn't go up to her. Mm-hmm. It was just like, it was also just fun. It was just pure
We all
fun.
sobbed when it was over.
Oh my God.
It was
we were
genuinely
losing
the
Jillian.
worst
Such a good
thing.
picture of them just sobbing on me, and
Yeah,
I
we're
was
just
like,
like,
oh.
body racking stuff. Like,
Such
Yeah.
good qualities to have in a leader. Yeah. Want to jump in?
For me, I think, well, first of all, from the get-go, I've never felt more comfortable so instantaneously with a director than with Jillian. And I think as an actor first, I think what is so great about Jillian is that a lot of directors, I think, know what they want, but it's really hard sometimes to get that out to an actor and how to get an actor to portray that. And I think because Jillian is such an incredible actor first, I think it's easier for her to know, okay, this is what I want. This is how I would play it. How do I give it to an actor in an actor's perspective? And I think that made things like significantly easier for me and much more comforting to me. And kind of like the two of them said as well, like the ability to play and have fun and not feel pressured to like get it perfect every single time was so nice and so easy and so like heartwarming.
I love that you had that.
It's also like, since she is an actor, she has the vocabulary of an actor. Like there are some directors that are more committed to the visual medium, which is amazing, and like a whole world that I can't even fathom. And like the fact that she's able to marry the two is just, I mean, a dream.
And I'll say also another thing. I've never worked on a set. No, like every crew member like worshiped the ground.
Oh my
Jillian.
God.
Costume, crew, crafty, like just set a tone of like love and safety. And I've never seen that before.
This is all making me sweat, and it's so sweet. And I will say too, it was really nice because when we started, I had a meeting with all three of you, just basically saying like, we have a very exciting responsibility. I don't know if you remember this.
I do remember.
And it was just like, we get to determine basically how everyone on this set respects each other, because they'll all look to us to see if we are handling each other with like love and joy and acceptance and just playing.
And then I locked myself in my trailer and I demanded a little butler.
Would not come
And
out.
I would not come out
She would not come out.
unless my little butler was there.
Your little butler?
Yeah, a Syracuse local little butler.
Who had Pedialyte.
Yeah, Pedialyte
expert
butler.
then.
I did actually have a Pedialyte butler.
Pedialyte's kind of important. It can make you feel better.
Pedialyte
I was
saved
so-
Chloe Fineman's life.
I was so addicted to Pedialyte this summer, I think I got hypertension. I was housing one Pedialyte a day, minimally, and I would get the medical grade. Because you're stripping, you're in heat.
Can I
you know,
just, I know you've got to ask questions
Sorry,
too,
but we got to talk about
I do
Pedialyte.
have to say, like, this woman worked her tail off for those dance scenes. Like, I mean, got in such serious shape, like fighting shape, and really like jumped in. Like, I feel like the day after we talked about the role, you were already taking classes or looking into it.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
What happened was Can and Mikey Madison, who now has an Oscar, I saw like a tiny clip of all the extensive work she did. And I was like, well, our movie is not quite that, but I was like, but you know, why not?
Yeah.
And then found the pole.
The athleticism that goes into that, like my brain can't compute it, truly.
It is unreal.
It's impossible. The upper body strength you need. They're athletes.
I didn't have
Do pull up.
Can't do. I
But
can't
I
do a
can run a
push-up.
marathon because of you.
What?
Right. Brittany.
Whoa.
I ran a marathon because Brittany runs a marathon.
Okay, sorry. We
I
said
a marathon because of your movie.
That
Dead serious.
Are you serious?
No, dead
Segue.
serious. I saw it at
Wow.
Sundance 2019, and then I
2019.
ran the marathon later that year.
You have done
just got
something
full body chills
I
about
have
that.
not done, which is run a marathon. I'm so excited for you.
Oh,
I'm
thank
proud
you.
of you. That's
Yeah.
huge.
It's like one of my greatest accomplishments.
Have
and
you
I've
done it
never made
multiple times or
No,
no?
I did it.
Hey, guess
it.
what?
Well, I did
That's
it.
was a one and
more
done
than
kind of
anyone
situation.
else.
I ticked that box and I'm glad I did it and never again. So wonderful support system all here. But there's some other people who supported you in this that I really want to highlight, because I feel like I've been seeing a lot of American High movies
Yes.
lately that, I don't know, they just speak to me and I love them. And especially when you're a first-time feature filmmaker, it is of the utmost importance to have the right people at your back. So what is it about the team over there that not only helped you get this movie made, but made the way you wanted?
They're unbelievable. I mean, they bought a high school in Syracuse, and their production company is within that. We shot in the high school. They're the most supportive of young filmmakers and first-time filmmakers. And I just feel like Jeremy Gerlich specifically, I had worked with.
Shout out.
JG. Okay, so I didn't know where to go from there. JG. He basically, I did a small part in Murder Mystery 2, and I just sat with him at the monitors and was telling him how much I wanted to direct and hadn't quite found the opportunity. And he was just so wonderful about calling me up and being like, here's a script that came our way. You know, what do you think? And we worked on rewriting it together and making it what I ultimately envisioned it to be. It's sort of kind of a love letter to my sister, because she's been my Santa Monica. She's not a stripper, but she
taught you how to 69.
Exactly.
And
She's
that's
been my
beautiful.
mentor forever. And I've always wanted to make a film that's about our dynamic. We're 5 years apart. A lot of times coming of age stories are about one particular person, or if there's two, they're the same age. And I just think this is really cool to have like a 10-year age gap and where people are at in that journey. And to bring it back to American High, they were very much like, as soon as we got there for prep, they were like, and now go with whatever you think. And they were there to help guide. They were, you know, sort of the bumpers on the bowling alley, if you've never bowled. But they're not, you know, weighing in so much that it becomes something different.
I have many follow-ups. One, I'll give you the sillier follow-up first, but it was because of how you just spoke of your sister being your Santa Monica. And it was something that the movie was making me think of, but as it pertains to like past rom-coms and high school comedies where like you're growing up and you look at one of those characters and you just like idolize them.
Yes.
Did all of you have that with a particular past rom-com or high school comedy? A character where you're like, I want to be you when I grow up.
Ooh.
Cher?
What was Cher's? Oh, rom-com.
Rom-com?
Period.
Wait, from which one?
I mean, it could be anything. We can open it up to any genre.
Anyone in a movie.
you know what?
I was just like,
we were like, I heard
Cher.
There's only one Cher.
No, it's just Cher.
That's a great example. I kept thinking of Empire Records in particular, and I'm like, I want to like grow up and work for Joe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's a great movie.
I'd say like when I was in high school, we were really obsessed with Sex and the City, and we were all virgins, and I worshipped Samantha Jones. And that is how I lost my virginity. My friends called my boyfriend and were like, you need to go down on her. I don't even think they knew what that meant. I don't know why I'm sharing this, but no, but I think it was like she was so advanced and she, you know, just like, get your head down there. And so she was like my teen idol. And I feel like I kind of took that with me to play Santa Monica. Like we were virgins, capital V, but we watched, you know, her like rip her top off and hump all those PR men or whatever.
With such confidence.
She was just so confident.
Yeah. Makes all the sense in the world. That was a great impression too.
Your head. Penis o'clock. Yeah.
Can you top that?
No. Mine was like Lemonade Mouth. If you know Lemonade Mouth, it's like a Disney Channel original movie.
Nice guy.
So like Haley Kiyoko in Lemonade Mouth, she was like this super badass, like she made a band, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I want to be in a band. I want to be in a band and I want to drink lemonade and be like, fuck you, principal. Yeah. Like, it was not my high school experience, but I enjoyed the idea of it. Like, yeah, it was Lemonade Mouth for me.
I feel like for me, the Notebook. I feel like I always wanted to have.
Range of the three of us is
Hear me out.
Lemonade Mouth, The Notebook, and Sex in the City.
Cunnilingus.
I just feel like I always wanted to have the rain kiss. Like I was like, oh, that's like peak. That's like peak, like sexy, cute moment between like. And then I had my rain kiss, and it was like ice cold rain in the middle of winter, and you're like. Like you can't keep your eyes open.
Is that what you did with your tongue?
That's exactly what I did.
Play that back for the fans at home?
It's like the Spider-Man kiss where everyone idolizes that. It'd probably be real
like
awkward
in reality.
and weird.
Honestly, the Spider-Man kiss is a lot like 69. If you think about it.
It's the 69 of kissing.
It's the 69 of kissing.
Yes. Wet and upside down.
Oh my gosh. You know what? Honestly, my favorite teen comedy was Valley Girl. And I just was obsessed with that. Has anyone seen that? Am I the only one? You've seen
definitely
it?
Definitely seen it.
Okay. Yeah, that's one of my favorites. I live in the Valley. And so I think I kind of am living my dream. And my fiance is like, lives in Hollywood and wears a leather jacket. So I actually think I'm living my dream.
Clueless.
I just realized.
What the Valley was.
Hey.
Yeah. I saw Clueless and I
Yes.
thought I knew everything about the Valley. And then I
Yes.
moved to the Valley and I'm like, oh, it's nothing like
Little bit
Clueless.
different.
It's not like it at all.
No, not at all, but I love it.
Yeah.
I have to wind down with you all soon. I want to squeeze in a couple more high priority questions. First for the two of you, because your chemistry is like the spine of this movie. It needs to soar the way it does in the final film. What is the very first thing you saw in the other that made you say, like, with the utmost certainty, you are the Santa Monica to my Abby and vice versa?
Gosh, I mean, as soon as Sam auditioned, you just knew. We have such a like soul connection. Like Sam's at Adler. I went to
Yeah.
Adler. You remind me of my sister. And just like Sam is the kindest, best, most wonderful person. Knew everybody's name immediately. I don't know. You're so easy to love. So it was easy. That's the thing. Like when you find the right person, it didn't really feel like acting.
Yeah.
And you're like a little stoopy virgin, and I'm just like, and I'm also kind of immature. Like I felt like it was sort of like a coming of age story for both of the characters.
Totally that.
And I do feel like even though I'm an old hag, I kind of have like a lot of maturing to do. So that also came very naturally.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, I struggled into feeling like a person on the set just because I'm like, oh my God, it's freaking Chloe Fineman from SNL. It's like Jillian Bell from and I'm like, this is Matt Cornett from High School Musical series. Like, genuinely, no, like actually, I felt like, what's the phrase? Big potatoes, small potatoes, large
Baked potatoes, I believe.
something about. No, I think I'm saying that
the
wrong.
hottest potato.
The hottest potato. No, I think I just felt like a very.
You felt small potatoes?
I smell
Small potatoes.
Is that what it
Coining
is?
your own unique term right
You
now.
felt
and I
baked
like it.
potatoes.
She felt like fingerling potatoes.
This is wrong.
Potatoes 3 ways.
Yeah, potatoes 3 ways.
This is wrong. I think I meant fish.
Oh, the fish.
You were a fish out of water, which has nothing to do with
small
potatoes.
fish.
Big fish in a big pond. Sorry, I'll let you.
Small fish.
I'm gonna start saying
big.
that phrase, but
I'm
with
feeling
potatoes,
small.
now, and no one else is gonna get it. But
I'm
the
feeling
four of
small
you.
potatoes.
Yeah.
No, I
Big
felt like a
potato.
small fish in a big pond with a lot of big fish. And I was like, but the fact was that like everyone just wanted to see each other succeed, especially Chloe. And like when we were doing those scenes and I felt like I was playing the straight man, which is like, and I wanted to like also just see you shine and be like the funniest person ever. Like I'm all the time just holding back laughter and just watching you work and knowing that like we went to the same school. Like she went to NYU and I'm in NYU now.
And like literally
Adler.
has like teachers I had when I was
Right.
Sam's age, and so like I was like, I know you. And
Yeah, and it feels like literally that mentorship. I'm all
Yeah.
like, you are where I want to be.
Totally. And was like
literally
kind of
that.
mentoring behind Cam, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's
I
a
love
weird
that connection.
Like, it's a weird kismet thing, and
Yeah.
it was very special.
It was so like, I remember I totally pretended that I didn't know that you went to Adler, but I looked
known?
up. I
It's
looked up
online?
everyone on Wikipedia.
Am I really an alum?
Before I came.
Really? An alum?
To
Me?
set.
What?
You are an alum. I'm in the hallways and I take pictures with the little headshot they have of you on the hallway. I'm all like, mother is here. Hello, mother.
Yeah, to mother.
This
Yeah.
makes me so happy.
Yeah.
What doesn't make me happy is that I have to let you go. I wanted to make sure to give you this question last, though. So like another reason why I really appreciate your work is because you were one of the very first people who was ever on my show, Collider Ladies Night. Like, I think it was 20.
really?
Like,
I was one of the
ever,
first?
ever. And the show still exists to this day, and it is thriving because people like you believed in it from the very start. Point being, I started ending every ladies' night with this particular question like the last year or two, and I think it's important to ask when someone has done a big achievement like directing their first feature. So
Okay.
film and television, we give each other awards. Super cool. We should keep doing that. Nobody tells themselves good job as much as they should. I want to know something you accomplished while making this movie that you know you're always going to look back on and say, you know what? Really proud of what I did there.
Oh my gosh. So, I honestly, I struggle with like a lot of anxiety, and I was like very nervous to take on such a leadership role. And I think that this has made me go, if we can do this, if we can survive a summer in Syracuse with hot weather and craziness and tornado warnings and all of these wonderful things, like you can do anything, Belle, like you got this. And I just want to say too, like if anyone is struggling with anxiety and you feel like you can't make big things happen, you can. Yeah, that's probably
We
my
literally
biggest thing.
were shooting in a sex shop with vibrators, and a tornado warning happened.
Yes.
And we were stuck in
Jillian, you
the
wouldn't know. Like, calmly led us to shelter. We literally had to bunker down inside a sex shop and like next to it. And I had no idea you were anxious. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And we just played games until the storm was over.
Yeah.
I feel like this is your next movie idea. There's some sort of like meta comedy concept in that.
Yes, having
literally
to bunker down
tornado,
in a
like,
sex
we could
shop.
see
Dildo-nado.
I'm gonna let you the
Hey
clouds
guys,
starting
come away from the glass.
as if the vibrators like
the amount of times I
summoned-
got told, get away from the glass, Matt.
Hey,
get away
Matt,
from the
get away from the glass.
Yeah.
And then there was just a
Jillian-
loose pit bull just running
Yeah, the
around
loose pit.
with us,
Whose
which
dog
was
was
amazing.
that?
I don't know, but I liked it.
But like,
Yeah.
and that was like a very calm day somehow because of Jillian at the helm. So
I love those vibes. Seriously, congratulations.
Thank you.
Put the biggest smile on my face. I'm so happy
I'm so
for
glad
all
your
of
show
you.
is still going. Please have me on it whenever
And-
you want.
Anytime. We've got Collider Ladies Night. We have a spin-off series now called Collider Forces that welcomes everybody for the same type of conversation.
Wonderful.
'Cause
Amazing.
I just love celebrating cool people and their great work, and I'm happy to get to do that with you all today. Congratulations.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you
You're
so
the
much.
best.
yay.